We're going to talk about creating balance for growth and cash flow. And so I've got some notes I'm going to roll through. I really love to have a conversation on this to see, what specifically some challenges are in this. And I know we got a small call here, but stop me at any point. Let's ask some questions. I really want to be as practical and helpful on this. This is a pretty big one. I actually was just talking to somebody this morning, and I was sharing what I was going to be going over today, and his answer was, "Man, just go for it. Just go and figure it out, and just go big, go home, and just go for it." I'm like, you know what? That's not a good idea. I've tried that, and it creates all kinds of problems and complications. So, hopefully today we'll lay out some groundwork or at least some things to think about. That's really what I want these calls to be, is just let's think about some of this stuff. So, all right, let's get started. Yeah, creating balance in growth and cash flow. So let's just understand like some of the differences. I mean, growth is, as I'm going to define it here, is building long-term wealth through equity and appreciation, and cash flows generating immediate income from your investment. Most of the time when we underwrite a deal, we look at cash flow as the only indicator of whether it's a good deal or not, and I think that's a mistake. You need to look at the four different ways, especially when you're buying properties. Now, if you're flipping a house, you're going to analyze it. Is this going to make me money on the back end of it? When you're looking at acquiring rentals, you're going to make money on cash flow, appreciation, your tenant's paying debt down, so you've got debt pay down, and then your tax implications. So four different ways, and cash flow seems to be the sexiest one that people look at. I just want, so for analyzation purposes on a deal, don't just put that as the top dog. In the Midwest, it's pretty easy to do because we do have good cash flow in our rentals, but you don't want to sleep on these other ones. And appreciation is the big one that I love sleeping on. I love banking on more. And then we're also going to talk about cash flow in our business primarily. So I wanted to make the distinction there, because building cash flow in your business, building cash reserves is critical. And forgive me if I'm going to bounce around here, because I've just got chicken scratch notes on what I want to talk about. But I can tell you from personal experience, not having cash reserves in my business has really hurt me, like big time. I can't tell how many times I've had in the past year, years, I mean, at one point I had like 26 flips going. I had 26 addresses in my name. They weren't all actively going. Some of them were on market. Some of them were some turnkey that needed some lipstick. I had a package that was going into auction, and they needed some screens fixed and yards mowed and things like that. But anyway, at one point I was just doing way too much. And the biggest thing that suffered was my cash flow. Just imagine if you're not well capitalized and you've got that much activity going on. I mean, it can be a bear. I mean, I just remember back. I mean, this is 2022, early 22 through the summer. And then coincidentally, the market started to cool down, which sucked. But having cash reserves is going to benefit you as a business owner. And that was the biggest lesson I learned through that period, is you need to have cash reserves. You got to run your real estate as a business. It's not a